Okay, so today we are going to see about the exception handlings in Python, what they do and how can we use them. So the first thing is what is exceptions. Okay, so and how we handle them. So exception is like errors in our codes. Okay, so let's say we encounter a error, that could be any errors. Okay, let's say syntax error, a zero division error. Okay, and also see if you are working with some kind of internet stuffs. So in that case, let's say you don't have internet, so in that case your response will be nothing, unreachable response, so that is also counted as a error. So let's say you encounter a error inside your code, how you can handle them, we are going to see about that. So what is exception handling? So in Python, exception handling allows us, or you could say developers, to handle errors and exceptional events um, that might occur during the execution of a program. Okay, when you are executing something, let's say your code is perfectly correct, but when you are executing the code, in that time the error occurred. Okay, so that is exceptions. Okay, now let's first create a new file, 07 python mastery.py. Okay, so uh, the main idea behind exception handling is to prevent a program from crashing or ex- uh, exist exiting itself in the midway because an error occurred. Okay, so we don't want that. So what you want to do is uh, when we encounter the error, uh, and instead we provide a much efficient way to handle the error and continue executing the whole program. Okay, that should be our approach. So how we uh, approach this problem is, let's say if the problem, let me show you the problem first. Let's say I'm putting a print statement, hello world, and after that let's say I'm putting another thing called x equals to 1 divided by 0. So by default, did the this code doesn't consist of any error. Okay, because if you divide something with 0, the value should be coming with an infinity. Okay, infinite number. So now to encounter the error, already I have already written something which contains error. Okay, so this code, Python doesn't know how to execute this line. Okay, because we are dividing a integer number with a 0. So now if I, instead of printing x, let's say I'm printing hey there. If I put it like this and run the program, python uh, 07, see, it's showing me an error. What is this error telling me? File track back, the error is in the line 3. So this is my line 3, the error is in the line 3, x equals to 1 divided by 0. So what is this error? This error is telling me it's a zero division error. Okay, so now to see the zero division error, the description is division by 0. So now how we handle these situations? Okay, so let's say I'm putting the same thing inside a try and except block. So if I write try, and if I now put the codes, but see, one thing is I want to show you is, let's, if I go back to my previous code, so here uh, before encountering the error x equals to 1 by 0, it is printing hello world, this hello world, see, it's printing this hello world. Okay, so this part is clear that it is printing this one. Okay, now I'm encountering an error here, so it's not going there, hey there part. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I remove this part, I try block, and I write the code here, print hello world. And now the same thing again, x equals to 1 divided by 0, and now I'm printing one more thing, hey there. Okay, except what is this error? This error is called zero division error. So I'm telling the compiler try these codes. Okay, print x and print here. If any exception occurred, any exception comes, so how to handle them is exception. If the exception is zero division error, then what I'm going to do is print you cannot divide a number with a 0. Okay, so now I have written try this line of codes. If this raise an exception, then you print this line, print you cannot divide the number with a 0. So what it should return is it should print a hello world, and then after that it shouldn't give us any error. It should give us this line, you cannot divide a number with a 0. Okay, so if I run the same program one more time, see, there is no error in this code. Hello world, you cannot divide a number with a 0. And now if I fix this line, so see, hello world, hey there. So it is executing the whole thing instead of executing this. So now it's just like a if else statement, but we are using errors as the condition in if else try except blocks. Okay, so now what I'm going to show you is how to debug things efficiently. So let's say I know that this 3 line of code will give me an error or might give me an error in future. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I have put all this code inside the try block, right? And in except situations we use a thing called exception. uh, we can write it like exception, except exception. So I don't know what kind of exception we are getting. In the previous case we knew that it's a zero division error, right? So that's why we have put zero division error in here, right? But now think about whatever code you are executing, you don't know what kind of error it's going to give you. So you put an exception here, except any kind of exception, and you naming the exception as E. So what I'm telling is exception as E. You mean every exception is contained inside this E. So if I print this E, let's say I'm printing this E, I should see the error name. So if I print this, so see the description is coming, division by 0. Okay, so this is the description of the error. Okay, so let's see if the E contains any properties. See, it contains some properties. So it contains arg with trackback, and yeah, most of them are useful, but let's say I'm going to show you this trackback function. So what this trackback going to return us? See, it's going to return us an object of what? Built-in method. It means it is built in inside the Python, because you can even create an exception. Okay, so I will highly suggest you to go through creating an exception in Python. That is a good thing. We don't usually use this kind of things, custom errors, but yeah, you can create one method with the trackback of zero division error. So this is the error name, zero division error. Okay, and the object is saved at this place in my computer. So just forget about the place and things. Just try to look at this zero division error, this thing. Okay, so if you raise any kind of other errors, let's say I'm raising an error of syntax error. So this is a syntax error. So uh, instead of putting it like this, let's say I'm putting here like this. Hey, okay. So let's see what happens if I run this. So it's margin. Oh, sorry, not here. What I'm going to do is, sorry. So if I put anything like this, so it is a syntax error, right? So if I run this, syntax error, invalid function. Sorry, not this. Let's raise an error by default. So what I'm going to do is, let's type convert something int of hello. Okay, so this shouldn't return anything, it should raise an error. So if I run this, say it's giving me an error of value error. See, this is a value error. So we cannot convert a normal string to integer. Instead of this, we can convert a 90 to integer. Convert, see it's running, but if we change this to hello, it should return us a error. So lastly, let's recap on what we have done with this codes. So normally what I have done here is this. So in this case, uh, this try block is having an error of x equals to 1 by 0. Now we are handling this exception with an exception statement where we don't know what kind of error we are getting. Okay, so we are saving this exception value in E and we are calling the trackback object. So instead of this trackback, let's just remove this and call this E. So we will get the description. Okay, see, division by 0 is the problem here. Done. So this is normally uh, the try and except block. Okay, this is how we handle any kind of errors. Okay, so thank you for watching. See you in the next video.